Hello and welcome to our third episode of NiHao, Salam. Today's topic is breakups and divorce. So, of course, we're going to start with our icebreakers though. Jeff, would you like to go first?
I will go.
Okay.
First, I used to be able to dunk.
Okay.
I am a big internet troll.
Like a secret
Third.
one? Sorry, go on.
I've never dislocated a bone.
Okay. You are internet troll present or past tense?
I am an internet troll.
Okay. You used to be able to dunk. Okay, well, I know you've never broken a bone, but I don't know if you've ever dislocated a bone. I believe you're an internet troll. That literally adds up for you. Oh no. I feel like maybe you've dislocated a bone, but you've never broken it. I believe you were able to dunk. I'm taking a risk. You've never dislocated a bone is a lie.
Yeah, I have. It's a lie. Yeah. I've dislocated my my left ring finger.
Oh, that's...
And that's from intercepting a basketball during a game.
I thought you were about to say intercourse.
Intersected, meaning I was trying to catch a ball mid-air.
I see.
And it hit my finger in a way that pushed it out of... dislocated it, and I just saw a dislocated finger, so I pushed it back in.
Alright, I get it. Alright, I'll go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was a child, I told kids that my parents voted for Mitt Romney so I wouldn't be bullied. I've been to Washington, D.C. The first time I used a tampon, I passed out.
It feels like you wouldn't be lying about being bullied. It's kind of an odd thing to lie about. Passing out from tampon use. And you've been to DC as your second one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been to DC. That hasn't been brought up.
Well, I have family there.
Okay, that's a good thing to know. When you pass out, were you unconscious for a long time, or?
No. I came back to it and I just took it out immediately and started crying.
Given your traumas with your periods, I think you may have had trauma with the use of tampons, so that's possible. But I don't know if you've mentioned that you've been to DC. That's an odd thing to lie about too. This is a tough one. I think it's probably the second one.
You're right. I've never been to DC.
Okay. So we both won.
Yay! Yeah, so basically my school in 5th grade did a thing where the kids voted, like pretend voted as adults, and I voted for Mitt Romney instead of Obama so I could fit in.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't truly want that.
Your classmates are...
They were all very Republican.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I didn't want to be bullied. And then the tampon, so the first time I used it, my body went into like a chill. It was so scared. It did not like a foreign object inside.
Yeah. For mine, a big internet troll, I'm not sure if you're interested to know, but it gives me a high whenever I get people riled up in the past, and also currently too. I like leaving comments behind that are obviously ironic, a joke, sarcasm.
And then the creator gets really upset.
Either the creator or people who are supporting.
Defending them.
Yeah, it's just fun to make sure that, I leave a mark of chaos.
Yeah. Are you the one commenting on my videos?
But yeah, let's move on to our actual topic.
Okay, breakups and divorce. My question is here first, so should I go?
Go ahead.
All right. Why do you think it is difficult for the generation above us to get divorced? My family isn't particularly religious, but still have a hard time cutting ties. Is it comfort? Is it tradition? Would it be easier for them if they had people around them supporting it, or will nothing change their minds?
I think huge part of keeping a marriage for adults um, above like 40, 50 uh, is because of their upbringing, their religious background, people who stay in their marriage. I'm sure there's a lot in America, a lot of breakups and divorces in America, but around the world where people practice like Christianity and are um, basically following their tradition of keeping a marriage so that their image is not affected by the divorce, and I
So
think
it's an image thing for you.
yeah, it's definitely an image thing, not for me, but for people who keep their marriage alive or for a facade of a happy marriage, so that when they go to church, when they go to their gatherings, whatever there may be for adults nowadays, they
But
can contain, happy marriage.
no, because in my question I said my parents are not religious, and they do a lot of things separate. They don't even do it as a couple. And I know your parents live separately, so I'm not sure if they're doing it necessarily for others to see, because they're not together very much anyway.
Yeah, for I guess we have a different upbringing, of a different knowledge of like why people,
Stay together.
keep this like facade of like, oh, we are still married. Why they keep it might also be financially
Yeah.
smart, and also there's probably a lot of pressure from family members in their family to, you know, like if you got divorced, you probably get looked down on or get judged for why that might had happened. Maybe the judgment could be like you weren't satisfying the other partner, or you must have done something to cause this to break up, and you don't want too much, people looking down at you or
Yeah.
looking at you a different way. So I see that possibility. Would it be easier for them if they had people around them? Yeah. If the parents, if, they're coming from a background where parents are supportive of their child's decision, if your family members, like brothers and sisters, are always there for you to protect you, through like relationship issues, I think it would be easier for people to let go and know that they are safe and that they can find comfort in their family.
All right, let's go to yours.
All right. Second, so ghosting is pretty prevalent now, and it's a form of breaking up with someone without using words. It's a simple, exit to a relationship without any explanation and no warning. And as a person who was ghosted and also ghosted someone, I know what it feels like to
For
be,
both sides, right?
ditched. And um, do you have any speculation as to why, or why it's becoming more common, and what would it be? What would an ideal or healthy way to break up with someone be?
So, should I go?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think ghosting happens a lot when you don't actually fully know the person. Like, you could date them for months, but if you like met them over an app and stuff like that, that's why I'm not incredibly pro app, because at the end of the day, like, you can't trace it back to a person that easily. Like, unless they introduce you to everyone in their life, or you end up moving in together, or just there's different steps to get to know them. But I could literally say I have a different career and like have a different name. I could say so many lies, and if someone was on an app, they would have no idea. And then I could also just ditch them whenever I want to. So I think ghosting is really popular because you're able to lie about who you are. They don't get to fully know you and know people around you and like where you hang out, stuff like that. And then you could fully just disappear because you're not even probably going to run into them because you didn't spend that much time together. And I mean, there are stories of people dating for years and then getting ghosted, but those are like Gone Girl stories. It's not as popular as like the 3-month relationships that end in ghosting. But do I think it's like a healthy way to end something? Or
what would be a healthier way?
A healthier way? Well, people say they want closure, but I've had an actual like face-to-face being broken up with, and I would prefer to be ghosted. Like, I guess it's bad being ghosted because your brain wonders, was it me? Is it something I did? But being in person and hearing someone say it, you're like, oh, this is awkward. But that's just me. I would prefer, I mean, if you ghosted me, I would just show up at your mom's place or something and be like, what?
Right.
Let's talk. But, like, what do you mean?
Like, if you were in the long term, but you don't have any connections with their extended, friends and family.
Well, that's a red flag in itself. Like, why didn't you meet anyone in their life? Not just family, like...
Long term could be like 6 months, though. And you're just trying to figure out if this is working. But without warning, you think it's fine for some cases to just be ghosted?
No, I don't think it's fine. It's just the reason I think it's so popular is because...
No, you said that you prefer that.
For just me.
Okay.
I just don't like rejection face-to-face. But I wouldn't like it in this situation. Maybe in the past I would have liked it.
Yeah, if I were to relive some moments, I think I was definitely a coward when it comes to like speaking up for myself, like knowing what I want in a relationship and what like being transparent with why I'm no longer interested, and then for the other person to ghost me, I feel like I think everyone deserves a closure, and I think the healthier way is just to have a last brief meeting, cordial.
But those last meetings, usually people just like hook up. Do you know what I mean? Whenever people have like that closure breakup, I feel like they hook up.
Not for me. I feel like if you're being transparent, like I'm no longer attracted to you, there wouldn't be a hookup.
Yeah, that's pretty mean to say. I'm no longer attracted to you.
You're not yelling at the person. You just telling them like I'm trying to figure out what I want in my life and no longer interested in this relationship, or you can say I'm no longer attracted, so they know they can't make a move.
Yeah, I think if I heard that as a girl, I would cry.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for people who, like I cried when I was ghosted. I was definitely going through a lot of pain and like trying to figure out what did I do wrong.
Right.
Are they like tricking me this whole time, or there's a lot of question left unanswered when you ghost someone.
Right. And the thing I mentioned too, like, you wonder, what did I do to cause this? Was it the last time we hung out?
Exactly.
Stuff like that. But I think people who ghost don't just do it out of the blue. Like, they kind of planned it. And also, well, that goes into one of my later questions, not the next one, but one of my later questions about planning a breakup and the appropriate time frame of
Why don't you go
doing
on
it.
to your next question?
Okay, my next question is not that, but it is. This question has a little bit of statistics in it. I know our generation is a lot more open to divorce, but why do you think that is? It's predicted that 40 to 50% of marriages in America will end in divorce. Even in Iran, 1 in 3 marriages fails in the capital in Tehran. In 2019 alone, 4 million people got divorced in China. These numbers have all increased since those years. Do you think people give up too easily now, or is it that people have better standards now? I can answer it a bit myself, if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do think sometimes people give up a little too easy. Like, there's a happy medium between our parents and, like, never getting a divorce no matter what could incur, whether it's faithfulness, whatever it is. That generation will just get separate beds. And that's not correct either. But our generation, I feel like we have this idea of like Prince Charming and our princess, and like when one thing goes wrong, we get so upset, and we're so prone to like cheating is really easy because of apps and just our overall individual like mindsets. We're not as family driven now. Oh my god, I sound like a Republican man. I'm not saying that we need to be family driven. It's just we give up really, really easy once something goes a little wrong, because we're like, from movies and all these things, we're made to think that it's supposed to be so easy and perfect. So maybe when one little thing goes wrong, not a thing that's like such a big deal, but it grows and grows and grows, and then people are just very open to divorce now. But there's no middle ground between the being in a sad marriage to easily just after a couple years being like, I want to be with other people now.
I think it's such case by case.
Right.
Like, a lot of people give up on their marriage for different reasons, and I feel like as a society that are just, now interested in their mental health, I feel like we're just coming around to realizing how important it is to have emotional support from friends and family, and knowing your value and understanding I'm in a toxic relationship, I need to get out. Learning that what you deserve as a person, that you deserve love, and that if you're not being loved and you're continuously working and still not achieving what you desire, then people should have the right to leave. And I feel like
right, absolutely,
when it comes to people who are both unable to understand what they want, unable to, as a couple, not knowing how to resolve their issue, usually end up in a breakup or a divorce.
I think people should live together before they get married.
That's another conversation. But I feel like there's also temptation in the world where people don't know how to handle the allure of, like, let's say a prettier girl, a younger person to date. It's like they don't have that capacity to say no, or a understanding of, like, you have agreed to a monogamous relationship, and that you didn't have this conversation prior, and like there's just so many characters out there, so many blends of people, and just pushing them together and then realizing I'm not really a person who only dates one person, I need to go around. That agreement needs to be spoken prior to the relationship being formed. And when the other person didn't consent to you talking to other girls, you shouldn't be talking to other girls. So, or guys, I just think that people are now learning, and are always learning what they want.
They could say it's okay, but they just kind of want to keep the marriage sometimes too. Like, I could imagine if my partner just was like nonstop mentioning it, and it felt like there was no other way to keep the relationship other than having it become open. That's kind of manipulation in itself, because it's like, obviously this wasn't decided upon prior, this wasn't the thing I wanted, but now it's this.
Well, if you're being forthcoming and telling the other person that I need this in my life to feel happy, and you agree, and you change your mind later, you should stand your ground and say, I'm not into this, and if you're still into this, I want out. Like, it's hard. You love this person, but if this person does not respect you, does not change so that you remain monogamous, and I mean, they have to be respectful of your decision, and that you have to know that there are more people out there willing to be monogamous with you, or polyamorous. It's not the end of the world to be broken up with, or breaking up with someone because they decided they want to love multiple people to that, or they want to have flings or swing. It's gotta be brutal, but your happiness comes first.
Your question.
All right. As a person who have experienced a divorce and breakups, I've always felt odd about the timing of jumping back into a relationship, um, a new relationship. I have some ideas and tips for people who have been broken up recently, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on recovering from a breakup.
Mm.
What is the best way to get over a long term relationship, in your opinion? What is the most appropriate time to start dating again after a long term relationship?
I'd never been in a long-term relationship before this one, but I could give my advice for a short-term relationship.
Yeah.
I think if you are rebounding, it can be chaotic if you have like obsessive tendencies because you could think that the next person was the correct one, and then that could fail. Because that's kind of what was happening to me is I would go into these like 3-month relationships that would fail, and then I would jump into another one and be like, okay, that one was a failure. This guy's the perfect one. So like that one was wrong. This guy's a completely new guy. It's gonna be better. And then he would do something, and I'd be like, okay, just jump back into another one with these like small gaps in between. I think before I dated you, it was actually a pretty big gap. It was like a couple months, but prior to that, it was like 1 month gaps always. But yeah, before dating you, it was like pretty long time, and I had broken up with the person because they had wanted to make the relationship polyamorous. But yeah, I think as long as you're not getting into another relationship because you've like made the previous one such a villain and this person is going to save you and that person was wrong, and like cuz then you could get shattered by the actual reality of that person. So, I guess it also depends on you. Like, are you someone who needs to be with someone? Because if you are, then you should be alone for a bit. Did you genuinely find someone better? Like, make sure that is actually someone better, not you fantasizing about. Like, I know a lot of girls experience that where they get love bombed by a guy, and the guy is like obsessed with them, thinks she's like so magical, like almost manic pixie dream girl syndrome, and then he learns that all of her like mental illnesses and everything was not as quirky as it seemed at the start.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure you're not obsessing immediately and taking it really, really slow.
Right.
So that would be my only advice is don't obsess over someone new right after a breakup, because that's when you are most prone to obsessing over, not, I guess obsessing is the wrong word, but fantasizing about how perfect that next person is.
Right. And my tip is learning your boundaries, like what it means for you to be happy. How would you achieve happiness alone, and how can the next partner provide happiness for you? You have to learn these things so that when you do meet someone, um, you're able to communicate those boundaries, how they can respect you, your space, your emotional level of maturity. Like, you want to grow together, but the other person should also learn how you need to be treated. Um, which I feel like is quite universal, but some people don't have that. They don't know what they deserve, and they're probably scarred from a previous relationship. But you have to learn your boundaries. And when it comes to how long a person should wait, I think that I waited quite long. Like, I waited a year before I could start seeing
After
people.
divorce.
After my divorce was about a year and a half
Mm-hmm.
before I started seeing someone. But after my recent relationship prior to this one, I felt like I was quite broken up and that I needed some mental space, because I never been ghosted ever in my life, and that affected me greatly. I think that, it takes time to recover, to know what you are looking for emotionally, and enjoying, the moment of being single. And then learning, like, each person you're friends with, and learning their values, and just like enjoying those friendship first is important. So it could be up to a year, but I think a minimum is like 6 months
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
would be good.
Did your partner wait that long after your divorce?
I have no idea.
Oh. My question. Okay, last question for me. Um, oh, this is the thing that I said earlier. I saw a TikTok of a girl who knew she was going to break up with her girlfriend, but spent the next month pretending everything was okay. That is my own personal fear, that my partner has decided to break up with me, but doesn't have the heart to do it yet. It's kind of like the feeling you have when you share a skill with everyone and they clap, and you're wondering if they're clapping out of pity. Have they known they were going to break up with someone, yet egg them along? Like, that's my scariest thing is, like... So this girl's TikTok was basically them at this football game, like, kissing all these things, and the caption said, during this video, she already knew she was going to break up with me. And then a month later, she actually fulfilled it. And it's like... That's so scary that someone would act like everything is perfectly fine, and deep down they're like, oh, next Tuesday I'll finally have the guts to just... That's so scary.
Yeah, prolonging the inevitable. There's also the possibility that they think that things might change within a certain amount of time. They need time. They tell themselves that, but if... I mean, it's good that they eventually do it, instead of pulling that, stretching that time from a month to half a year to a year. It's good that they eventually get to the point. It is kind of scary to know that, this person's faking or had been pretending, or they could be genuinely in love and they just want to move on, because they're not as in love as they were when they first met that person. But it's important to communicate every time you feel any doubt in a relationship, and that person knows. It's not a way to manipulate.
But that's not the question. I said, have you ever known you were going to break up with someone yet egg them along?
No. I've never been broken up that many times. That
You've never broken up with that many
I'm
people?
usually the person... I've been broken up before, but it's not always me.
Okay.
But I've broken up with people multiple times, and I feel like you just have to be honest in a relationship. I learned it through those breakups, through those relationships, that if you're just honest with your feeling, like immediately, like I feel doubtful, and if you communicate properly, such as saying things that reassure your partner that you still love them even though you have doubts, that you still value them, and that you want, the relationship to be safe, to be just giving the reassurance that your doubts aren't causing any rift in your love for them. But say those things so that they know, so that there is some sort of, warning, not in a way that is manipulating the other person to do what you want to do, but in a way that gives them a fair chance to, say, I didn't know that you felt that way. Let me, do what I can so that, we avoid this feeling again. And if it's a repeated thing, then you need therapy, then you know that this person is not serious. It could equate to many, many different things. And
the breakup could? I'm so confused.
The other partner that you're trying to communicate, you're not feeling it anymore.
Right.
If they are telling you that they're willing to change, or that they're willing to do what it means to feel in love again, and they fail, it could mean that they need therapy, or the couples need therapy, or that they never meant it at all. And that's a sign that you need to move on. But yeah. Welcome back. We took a short break, and now we're going to go to our next segment called Did You Know? So we're going to give each other a Did You Know fact. And if you know something that I said, you gain a point.
Yes.
And the person with the most points win the game.
Okay.
And so we're going to go back and forth, and I can go first.
Okay.
Number 1. Honey is the only natural food which never spoils.
No. I didn't
Okay.
know. So wait, what if it doesn't get mold?
I think if you have something on the surface that is exposed to air, eventually it probably mold. But
But
if
it
you
doesn't
close
have
the lid,
expiration.
no.
It's
it
like
keeps-
sugar.
Yeah.
But sugar has an expiration.
I don't think so.
What was your fact?
Natural food.
Oh, well, sugar's natural.
But it's not food. Like
Okay.
bears don't eat sugar. Bears eat honey.
You're right. Is that a fact? Do bears eat honey? Or is that like a cartoon thing?
I think they do. They break
Wait.
beehives and stuff.
Do
They attack bees.
bears eat honey? Wait, is this actually true? Yes, bears love honey. I thought that was a cartoon thing like Winnie the Pooh.
No, they like go to beehives and they dig in. They help themselves.
Oh, they eat the bees and the larvae.
Yeah, they fight them and they eat them. It tastes good to them. I think they have taste buds.
Bears are cute. Okay, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Drake's full name is Aubrey Drake Graham?
No, and why would I know that? Like, not a fan.
I mean, you don't know. I'm not saying I'm a fan. It's just funny that his name is Aubrey.
Yeah, funny, Aubrey.
Unless your listener's name is Aubrey. If the listener's name is Aubrey, we're not making fun of that part. It's the fact that Drake's name isn't really fully Drake.
That's
it's just
funny.
his middle name. Okay, your turn.
The cheetah is the only cat that can't retract its claws.
No, that sucks. Imagine you're like a cheetah flirting, and you're like, and they're like, I can't put it inside.
I wonder if it helps them since they're such a fast-running animal. I wonder if the claw digging into dirt helps.
Well, you'd think that for a lion too, but a lion can
Retract. Yeah. I guess lions only use them to fight and grip animals to kill.
Okay. The name Jeff is a boy's name meaning pledge of peace.
Oh, I didn't know that. Even though it's my name. I know it's along the lines of like peace, but didn't know it's a pledge of peace.
Also, fun fact about Jeff, his name isn't even Jeffrey, it's just Jeff. So did you know Jeff's name is
Well, Jeff
you don't get a point for
that.
that.
My legal name, so
you win. Your turn.
In the medieval times, it was believed that plague was spread by vapor, so the doctors would wear masks stuffed with garlic before visiting patients.
I did not know that, but I knew that people use garlic as a method of health. And sometimes women with yeasties in their vag put garlic up their hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And then don't do that because I read somewhere that it could get stuck and then it cooks inside and then you have a garlicky coochie.
As a rule of thumb, just don't put any edible or food items into any private parts.
I think when women have these things, it's like so unbearable. They're like, I'll put anything.
Try something new.
It's also quite expensive when you have like something wrong with your hoo-ha.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put garlic. It'll cost more in the end to de-marinate yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Lemons float, but limes sink.
You see, I knew about the lemons floating. I know that lemons float, but I did not know that limes sink. So maybe like a half a point.
0 points for both of us.
Okay.
Your turn.
No half points. Isaac Newton invented the cat door.
I did not know that.
That's a fun fact.
That is very fun. Okay. Maybe he loved cats. Okay. Iran has the highest volcano in all of Asia at 5,609.2 meters tall.
I didn't even know Iran had volcanoes.
I actually didn't know either. I thought that was fun to know that they also have natural disasters they should be scared of. Oh, that's so sad.
Didn't you have a dream about volcanoes?
Yeah, last night I woke up around 4 a.m. kind of crying. And I was like, can you cuddle me? I had a dream that Jeff went on a business trip in a volcano. And when I went on Find My Friends, his phone was in a volcano and I kept calling it and he wouldn't answer. And when he came back, he was like, why'd you call me so much? I was just in a volcano. Like, can't you leave me alone? And I was like, I'm sorry. And then he went on another business trip and wouldn't come back at like 4 a.m. in the dream. And then it was 4 a.m. in real life too once I woke up. And I looked next to me and I was like, oh, he's not in a volcano.
Yeah.
I was so happy you weren't in a volcano.
Yeah. All right. My turn. Jellyfish and some other animals are basically immortal.
No, I only knew starfish regrow their little limbs. But,
yeah.
So Is it because they don't have a brain? Do they have a brain?
I have no idea. It could be just that they are so made of like certain cells that do not need much to regenerate.
I see.
They
They reset when damaged, is what it says. They can hit a reset button. I'm surprised more like sci-fi movies haven't played off of the jellyfish then. And like trying to mix a jellyfish with a human. Well, this is not one of my fun facts, but do you think you actually have to pee on someone if you get stung by a jellyfish?
It could be.
I
There's
wonder
some
why.
chemicals that remove the sting.
I think also if you smell urine and you're mustard gassed, it cancels it out as well.
Never heard of that one.
I remember that one when we were studying World War II. Okay. China will in 15 years or by 2030, not 15 years. In my head it's like 2010. Okay, by 2030, China will have the most Christians in all of Earth because of the underground Christian society. It's a very atheist country, but because of the secret Christians, it will soon have the most Christians.
Yeah, but anything could happen in 30 years.
It's just the projected growth that it's going at.
Yeah, I guess it's a fun fact, but it's not really a data where it's something we can.
It's on the road for the most Christians.
Yeah, but anything could be
on the road.
Statistically possible and turned around. Like, what if there's a war or a crackdown on underground churches?
I guess, but there's always been. Okay, fine. All right, your turn.
Chewing gum is banned in Singapore.
Yes, I knew that.
Okay, great. Do you know anything else to back that up?
I just know that Singapore has different rules about cleanliness and also like not putting. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but sometimes you don't want to throw your gum out in the trash, and if it's on the street, it might get people sick. It's just they're strict on littering too in general and stuff. They don't want they're like the most beautiful place in the world. They don't want it messed up by gum.
What are some other rules that you know about Singapore?
I thought it was burping was also one, or
no.
And I wasn't allowed to burp as a kid. I assume Singapore just followed my mom's rules.
Of like something coming out of your mouth.
Spitting.
Yeah, spitting. I
that's a thing everywhere now because of COVID. No one's
no
spitting.
Spitting allowed. I think Hong Kong tried to do that, where they would fine you immediately if you spit.
Like when people like.
On the ground in public, you get fined. Also, you can't put like trash, your personal trash, into a trash bin, and they crack down on that.
Personal trash.
And they do it in America, but they never really check. They never stop. They don't have people. They don't like a lot of Chinese countries. They have a lot of undercover just watching.
Scary.
Yeah.
Okay. Hippopotamus milk is pink.
The heck?
Yes.
No, I did not know.
I wonder if it tastes like strawberry milk.
Strawberry milk? That's actually maybe where we're getting all the strawberry milk.
No. Ew. Oh my god, hippo nipples. Okay, your turn.
Alright. White cats with blue eyes are usually deaf.
Deaf?
Mm-hmm. Deaf.
Dead?
No, like they can't hear.
Do that. No.
Deaf.
He's saying death, right?
Deaf.
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 I didn't know that.
Okay.
Anatidophobia is the fear of a duck watching you.
What?
Yes, it's a real fear people have that a duck is watching them.
I feel like that's just what is the statistics? I feel like this is such a least fearful thing that could happen.
Statistics between
anatidophobia. Like 1 of a billion.
Well, look, it's quite scary now that I'm looking at it. It's originated from the Far Side comic by Gary Larson. Oh my god, another thing that comes up
is this a real phobia?
Yeah.
I guess anything can be real.
There's fear of bananas, fear of happiness.
Okay, I've heard about these.
Oh,
yeah, those
fear
are real.
of happiness. Oh my god, penthrophobia is the fear of your mother-in-law.
All right, my turn. The oldest recorded cat was 38, and the oldest dog was 29.
I didn't know that, but it's good to know that cats can live so long.
Mm.
38? If Pusheen lived until 38, I would be scared of her.
Well, no. It'll still be cute to me. I'll still cuddle with her.
Of course, I mean, it's most ideal if your pet lives long, but I would be so scared, like,
Why
you're about to beat a record. And she'll be famous.
Oh, why would...
She already
you'd be happy
has
for
such
her.
an... Of course I'll be happy for her. But she already has, like, a queen vibe. And I feel like old Pusheen will be like...
But what are you saying?
I want her
You're
to live until
afraid of
100.
her?
No, I take it back.
Okay.
I hope she lives until 100. Okay. A single spaghetti noodle is called a spaghetto.
No, I did not know that. That's a funny name. Spaghetto.
I
It sounds like a brand
know.
of spaghetti. My turn?
Yes.
Chronometrophobia is the fear of time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a fear of, almost like a fear of like
Dying.
missing time, like
FOMO.
losing time.
Yeah.
FOMO. So like waiting in the doctor's office. I first heard about this through a music by Outkast.
Okay.
Check it out.
Did I say this peppers have more vitamin C than oranges?
No, I did not hear that one.
Peppers have more vitamin C than oranges.
No, I did not know that.
Yes, have lots of peppers with your iron tablets.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they sell them in the market, I guess.
Peppers are delicious, but yeah.
Genie from Aladdin was created for Robbie Williams.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
So it's not in the story?
What do you mean?
Genie's not in the story of Aladdin?
Genie, the character, was created specifically designed for Robin Williams.
Why do you keep calling him Robbie? Okay. So the original writing for it didn't have a genie at all?
No.
So
What
what
I
was
said-
Aladdin rubbing a lamp for? The lamp itself
What I said is the character was created for the actor rather than they created the character before choosing the actor.
Okay. I didn't know that. I'm still confused on that, but I didn't know
So the character was made for a specific person in mind.
that. Genie.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just the only reason I'm confused is because I thought the story of Aladdin is much older.
Well, I'm talking about the cartoon. The genie that Robin Williams acted in was created for him in the movie.
Mm.
To the point where they had to convince him by drawing the genie closely resembling of Robin's face.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know that at all. I wish I knew that.
Okay, your
Okay.
turn.
Cans of diet soda will float in water, but regular soda cans will sink.
Didn't know that. I guess the carbon. Yeah.
Well, Diet Coke is also so strange. Like, so many people, including myself at one point, I'm not using the word addicted loosely, but get very addicted to Diet Coke specifically for some reason.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Okay. My turn?
Mhm.
As of September 2020, China is the most populated country in the world with 1.4 billion people.
I didn't know the specific number, but of course I know that.
Okay, you knew that on September 2020?
Before then it wasn't?
No,
India?
India.
Okay, fine. Then I don't get the point.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was always China. Whoopsies. All right. Like fingerprints, everyone's tongue print is also different.
Oh. I've never looked at my tongue close enough to identify that it has a print.
Yeah,
Let me see your tongue. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I wonder who the person that was like, let's put our tongue prints on paper and match it. Let's...
Doctors. I don't know.
I guess researchers.
Okay, your turn.
A cat urine glows under a black light.
Only reason I know that is because I saw that in a fun fact page when I was doing this
Okay.
as well. Does it count?
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah, I knew that because I was going to put it on here.
All right.
But I thought you would know that because Pusheen peed on your bed once, and I thought we had discussed glowing pee or something. That's so funny. I think we use one of the same websites.
Well, it's a fact that, you know, a lot of people like to put on their website, so it could be multiple websites having the same fact.
Okay. A shrimp's heart is in its head.
No,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I imagine the designer of these, I guess the evolution of shrimp caused like.
He almost like gave acknowledgement to God, and then he was like, the evolution of shrimp.
Yeah, I guess moving it to the head, I wonder why. Like, what's wrong with putting it in the middle? I guess it goes
Shellfish are
to another
never know.
level of think with your heart, not with your head.
Think with both. Think with
This-
your heart.
A new level of think with your head, where your head is, your heart is in your head.
That's so deep. Okay, your turn.
All right. Because metal expand by heat, the Eiffel Tower leans away from the sun.
I didn't know that. Like the Tower of Pisa? Okay. Seth Rogen plays Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I don't know that, but that's pretty cool.
You know the movie 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt where he gets cancer and Seth Rogen's in it?
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt started playing it too, so they would play it on that movie set.
That's a fun one.
Your turn.
All right. A cat has 32 muscles in each ear.
I knew that because it was on one of the websites I was getting fun facts on.
Okay. Your turn.
I'm killing it. Okay. The record for the most female orgasms is 134 in 1 hour.
Whoa.
1 hour.
130 in 1 hour. I feel like that's like 2 a minute.
It's over 2 a minute.
I can't imagine.
It's
didn't know
one
that.
every like 25 seconds.
Okay, a giraffe
Okay, a giraffe.
has 21-inch tongue, which they use to clean their ears.
Ew. No, I didn't know that. Don't want to think about that. How long?
21-inch. It's about a feet and a half. Maybe
20.
more.
Yeah, it's.
Sorry for the interruption. Someone dropped off a package.
And
Let's
I thought
continue.
we were gonna be kidnapped and killed.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. A group of cats is called a clouder.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cute.
Clouder.
Okay, cats have over 100 vocal cords.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
More cats. Okay. The oldest cat video dates back to 1894 and it's called Boxing Cats.
No, that's
I
funny.
have a video of it.
Yeah, I want to see this. What?
I'll put it here somewhere. It's a silent one.
No. What? Speaking of cats.
She said, my family, my ancestors.
That's so cute, but odd at the same time.
All right. Next fact, your turn.
All right. Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney characters.
Okay.
It's a fun fact because she actually killed like a whole army with the
Is Prince of
mountain.
Egypt Disney? Because
No.
doesn't Moses kind of kill a lot of Egyptians in that?
How did Moses kill people?
No,
Tell me.
not on purpose, but like when the Nile fell on the Egyptians.
Do you think that Jesus is God? Do you think God is responsible, or do you think Moses is responsible of all the deaths?
I'm just saying that this is okay. She's the most single-handedly killed.
Yeah, by causing an avalanche. I don't think Moses caused the water to fall.
I am
God
embarrassed now for
intervened.
thinking that Prince of Egypt. I don't think it's even Disney. Okay. My turn.
Mm-hmm.
Alzheimer's disease does not affect emotional memory as strongly as informational memory. As a result, Alzheimer patients given bad news will quickly forget the news, but they'll be sad and have no idea why they're sad.
Never.
Isn't that so upsetting?
Yeah.
Like you literally, someone could tell you like your sister died, and you forget that your sister died, and then the next day you have the grieving. Your turn.
Dogs like squeaky toys because it reminds them of a small animal being killed. Did you know? Okay, now you know.
Saudi Arabia has actually started importing camels from Australia. They prefer eating Australian camels as they are tender and more fatty.
Wow.
So
I guess we also import like Australian beef. Like, I don't know.
yeah, your turn.
Okay, so next one for me is some cats are allergic to people.
Some. Oh, how did? Oh, that's so sad. Pushing staring at me now. I didn't know that.
That's a cute one. Alright, your
Oh.
turn.
This is my last one. Do you have one left?
Yeah.
Okay. South Korea has a separate Valentine's Day for single people.
Wow. I wonder if that like helps with why they would want that, and if it helped with like whatever they were trying to fix, which is like probably suicides or something.
Oh my god. Okay.
Last one. Located in eastern Hiroshima, Japan, Rabbit Island is the small enclave occupied by hundreds of wild rabbits that roam the forests and fields.
I didn't know that.
I think they also have a cat island where it's just cats.
There's lots of cats in Turkey.
Yeah, but imagine like an island only inhabited by rabbits or cats. That would be so fun to visit.
Yeah, like Alice in Wonderland.
All right.
So
it looks like I have 0.
let me
facts.
count up to your point. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 0.
Yeah, you didn't have to count that one. You had 3, so you won
Yay!
this game. High five.
So, where's my money?
I don't have money for you.
Okay.
All right, our last segment for today is
Or Q&As. Okay, so age 23, single. Can mental illness be an excuse for hurting, cheating your partner? Not physically hurting them, but emotionally putting them through turmoil you can't seem to control.
I think that, again, we might have answered this before where we mentioned cheating, and I said that it's hard to forgive someone in general when they break your trust, and that person, they as a couple can recover from this if they really try. And it's possible, and it happens, but not everyone can do this. And when it comes to this mental illness, do not use a mental illness as an excuse for infidelity and cheating. It's separate from your mental illness. Always look for professional help if it is the case, but your actions are your own. You have to own it.
So there's no situations where it's out of their control.
I think that they know what they're doing when
Right.
they're doing it, and that even if it's truly their mental illness causing them to cheat, it does not excuse it. They did what they did, and they should look for professional help. And
Yeah.
forgiveness comes after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So same age range and situation, single person. How do you avoid sabotaging a relationship? Being scared of intimacy and then purposefully doing things to jeopardize it. So like noticing things are going well and you just start distancing yourself, or you start drinking a lot, saying things you're not supposed to say, or just you don't want that person to get too close to you too fast, so you instead ruin the whole thing.
That's an interesting one, and it's becoming more and more common in conversations with you. I feel like
Wait, what? With me?
with people you know. And I feel
Oh.
like I've never heard of this sabotaging your own relationship thing until I met you. I think that it's not that you do it, it's just that people you know, like I said. I just think that this question is an odd one because you have an answer. You just kind of have to stop. It's all based on insecurity. Obviously, there are things that you're not used to, which is probably a good thing if you think about it. Like, I'm not used to this, but this is something new and something that I'm probably afraid of, and maybe it's something that's like you don't think you deserve, but do we really believe that we don't deserve happiness? We all deserve happiness. We all deserve to be safe in our home and our relationship. And when you start doubting yourself, it's not because of the other person. It's because of your own insecurity, and you have to look for help. And if it's caused by the other person, and if then you have to start looking towards therapy for that other person. But when it comes to how to avoid sabotaging, talk to a professional. And being afraid of intimacy and having to work on that is another thing you should do on your own.
Right.
If you're emotional trauma or emotional problem, a professional therapist would be able to help you with that.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't fully agree with you that it's like, that's kind of like telling someone who's depressed to stop being sad. You can't just stop doing things sometimes.
Is this person sad, depressed?
No, I'm just saying it's kind of like comparing that to that. I'm not saying you should sabotage your relationship. I'm just saying the ways to go about it are much more complex than just stop doing it.
So what do you think?
Tell your partner that you have the tendencies to sabotage something and to communicate if they notice that pattern in you to stop it.
So my suggestion to look for professional help is irrelevant?
No, you should look for professional help. I'm just saying the sentence of just stop doing it rubbed me slightly the wrong way because it's kind of hard to stop doing things.
I think the question is odd because by saying that out loud, how do I stop sabotaging myself?
Right.
Is a weird question.
But you don't sabotage yourself, so you never felt that.
I guess I've never had that tendency.
Like,
so
you don't
my
even
answer
really
is
drink
different.
and stuff like that. I think it's really hard to avoid certain things if you drink.
So are you saying it's closer to addiction? Like you're addicted to ruining your good things?
Yeah, and it's also like sometimes people, I know I felt this not in this relationship but in other things, like if too many things are going good, I want to ruin it just to balance it out because I don't like when things go too well. I feel like the world is going to either knock it down or I have to, so then it's better for me to control it. Like, in these people that are sabotaging the relationships, sometimes they feel that, oh, this is going really well. Maybe they're going to leave me. Maybe the world is going to wreck this. So what if I just start wrecking it myself and then I won't be shocked?
Yeah, I guess
it's like that kind of mentality.
It becomes kind of insensitive to tell someone to stop. My basis is like, logically speaking, if you have no trouble like thinking a certain way, like I do have insecurities, but I don't think about sabotaging. So if you have a tendency to do that mentally,
Right.
there might be something going on mentally where you need professional help. And for me, having none of that issue, I wouldn't even have the problem, and I would just stop doing it. I would just tell myself I'm probably overthinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably more and more of a problem nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's important that people know that they should value their life and take charge by going to seek help if you feel like it's detrimental to your mental health and your relationship.
Yeah. That's our Q&A part.
Yes.
So now we're just going to do the plug. I just wanted to plug in my friend's jewelry brand. She makes a lot of Middle Eastern themed things, Middle Eastern instruments, hookahs, and she turns it into earrings, necklaces, stuff like that. I have my own pair of hookah earrings from her, but maybe we could put it somewhere on the screen. It is Sound of Mazika. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It's my friend Angie, and I just think she's very talented, and if you're into Middle Eastern themed things, you should look into it.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.